What's up, family? Welcome and welcome you all to my YouTube channel. My name is Susanna N, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whichever country you're watching me, and whichever time you're watching me, you're much welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Susanna N, and in today's video, actually, I'm going to be sharing about my story, and yeah, that is what I'm going to be sharing. So yeah, if you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly subscribe, share, like, and comment. If you just come across this channel anywhere, just kindly click on it and subscribe to it, and also like and comment, tell me your suggestions. And if you're my returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back to watch my content. Kindly make sure you share the video, you like, and watch the videos till the end. Thank you. So guys, some of you have been actually asking me many of the questions, like some people ask me some of the questions when I was in my live stream. Some people ask me when I was on TikTok. Yeah, some people were asking me several questions. So I decided to put myself together today and just answer your questions. Yeah. So this is my story. Yeah, so I'm going to tell you all about my beginnings up to now. Yeah, so stay tuned, make sure you watch the video till the end. My name is Susan Nasiru. That is how Kenyans change the names in their IDs. So in Uganda, my name is Nasiru Susan. We don't start with a Christian name, we start with a surname. So my real name is Susan Nasiru Susan. Okay, and I did a video about that to clarify, to let people know who I am. I get to know me video, because so many people are asking me a lot of questions. Whether I don't know whether they have watched that video or they haven't yet watched that video. So like I've told you my names, and I am 23 years old. I am married and I have one kid. So I'm from a family of 7 children. Yeah, 7 children. And we have been brought up by a single mother. Yeah, a single mother. My father died when I was in primary 5. Like, I don't know how you can call that in your language, but for us we call it primary. Here in Kenya it's called class 5. Yeah, my father died when I was in primary 5, like primary 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was actually in my primary 5 when my father died. So my father was working, and because of having jealousy, family members, like your cousins, jealousy, things like that, that is what caused my father's death. Yeah, and he was the one paying our school fees, because that time my mom was not working. She was just a stay-at-home mom. Yeah. And another thing is that that time actually it was that time whereby people still had guns in our village, like most especially in our village. That time in villages, you find that people have a lot of cows, a lot of goats, donkeys. Like one person can have a lot of, like my father had a big kraal of cows and goats. And so then that time, like, everyone used to have a gun. So that gun is for you, the one of the cows, to protect your cows from cattle raiders. Yeah, there was this one of there is a tribe that was not that in good terms with the people of our village, whereby they used to come and raid the cows, and then they go and sell it. Yeah, so that is how my father died. And I'm a Karamojong. Me, I'm a pure Karamojong. I know some of you might not understand what I mean by a Karamojong. A Karamojong are those, there is that tribe in Uganda called the Karamojong. I'm a Ugandan, born and raised in Uganda, grown and studied in Uganda. Yeah. And my tribe is this tribe that in Uganda that dresses like the Maasai. They wear beads on their necks and also on their waist, and also they make that Maasai suka, Maasai bedi sheet. They turn it into a skirt, and then that is for ladies. And then for men, they wear that, they wrap that Maasai bedi sheet on their bodies. They don't wear t-shirts. That was long time ago, but now there is a little change whereby people have people have started now putting on clothes like normal clothes, whereby they go to the market and buy on those clothes and they put on them. Even for men, they wear now trousers and the t-shirts, and even they now send their children to school. Now there are offices there. Now their children get the jobs, and there are schools there. But long time ago, me myself, the school where I studied from primary 1, we studied under the tree. We used to sit under the tree down. Yeah, maybe if you're able, you just go and look for a stone whereby you can sit your table sitting on it, and then sit on it while the teacher is teaching in front. There was a I'm so sorry. Yeah, so sorry, hold on a little bit. There was a chalkboard in front there, whereby that chalkboard was nailed on the tree, and then the teacher is standing there, and the only seat that was there was for the teacher. The teacher only has the seat. When she's tired of when she's done with teaching, that time she can just sit down on her seat or on that his seat and start marking the books for the pupils. So that is the school I studied from primary 1 to primary 6. Yeah, so from primary 1 to primary 6. So then when I actually went to primary 6 and I started now, I actually had no moral that time, because that was the time when my dad died. After my dad dying, I actually got promoted to primary 6, and then from there was nobody to pay my school fees. So me myself, I was stranded, and my mom was not that able to pay our school fees for 7 kids. Remember, my mom was not working at that time. Secondly, all the cows that my dad has, the goats, was all taken by his brothers. You see, that thing is still existing in my village. Yeah, that thing is still existing. So I got stranded when I was in primary 6. So first I got there was a teacher, our class teacher, our mathematics teacher. Our mathematics teacher took me, and because he was staying at the school and was married with 1 kid, so he told me, come and be staying with us, and you will not be paying school fees. You know, from that side of ours, there's this thing, when you're staying with the teacher, when the teacher tells you to come and stay with him or her, then you will not be paying your school fees. So the teacher will be the one paying that. So that teacher, I was staying with that teacher until I actually until I reached to primary 7. Don't you forget that all the rest of my siblings actually dropped out of school. Yeah, they both dropped out of school, And because my mother was not able to afford, actually even me myself, I was supposed to drop out of school, but because that teacher actually gave me gave me courage, yeah, gave me courage and told me, Susan, you're not going to drop out of school. Because that time, yeah, that actually that teacher was Teso. Yeah, so he told me, don't worry, things happen, because he knew my father, and he knew my mother. And also, my father used to pay our school fees earlier. And also, if there's any issue about the school, my father comes first. Yeah, so all my siblings dropped out of school at that time. My mother was actually frustrated. So, and my uncle, the brother to my father, was telling my mom that if you marry me, that my mother should marry him so that she can have back my father's properties. Yeah. So my mother refused. My mom said, I am not going to marry you. I rather stay like this without staying with you. So my mom refused. My mom said, I will struggle until I make sure my kids are grown and they are big. Yeah, for God knows how she did that. And now we are big, grown, and married. We have children. And yeah, all thanks be to God for giving her that strong heart, for raising all the 7 kids as a single mother. Guys, actually, you don't know. I don't know. I know there are single mothers outside there, but let me tell you, if they tell you the pain they went through from the beginning, yeah, maybe a husband died, maybe a husband dropped her and went for somebody else. Now, if they sit down and tell you what they went through from that day they were left up to where they are now, you're going to shed tears. Yeah, it is something very painful. It is very painful, and it is something very, very hard to just step on it by yourself without anybody helping you. You just stand on your own, and yeah, it's very painful. So for men, those ones who are still existing, you drop your wife, you leave your wife with your kids and go for someone else, you see, you will get your punishment. She's not the one to punish you, but God will give you your own punishment. Yeah, so that's how we were brought by our mother. She actually started now doing LG, we call it in our language LG. Okay, I can translate it for you. It is like going to someone's garden, dig the garden of that person, and then later on that person pays you the money. It doesn't matter how much she pays you, you just have to take it. They measure for you the acres of the land, the acre of the land, or quarter acre that you're supposed to dig that day, and you have to go in the morning and until you finish that, and then you come back to that person and she pays you or he pays you. So that is how my mom did it, and to provide for us food. Yeah, to provide for us food. So that also actually caused the separation of us, the siblings, from home, whereby everyone can just go on his or her own anywhere you go, to hustle to make sure that the little siblings are actually at school, like to make sure that those little siblings who are at home can eat, at least can have something to eat every day. So both of us, we the elders, actually had to separate ourselves and go anywhere we got separated. So At least we used to meet by the end of the year. We used to come back home. Now each one of us to come with what he or she has made, and we put together and we have it as a family and mom, and later on after that we go back again and leave mom with the little siblings. So then this actually brought actually made me get frustrated a little bit, because any place that I used to go, those people used to look at me like a street girl. They used to take me like a street girl because we are not related. When I go to work at someone's house as a house girl, like some people just look at me like they talk to me anyhow, they jeer me, they call me all sorts of words, and it was actually a hard time. If I can tell you, I have actually worked in many houses for house girls, at least to make sure I cater for my school fees, because I never wanted to bother my mom a lot, because I'm so sorry, I feel like I'm emotional, like I'm so sorry, don't do this. You can't do this now. And I never wanted to actually stress my mom, and because she has the little siblings at home to I'm so sorry to get her for. And also, actually, when I joined when I finished my primary 7, I went to stay with my cousin brother, and my cousin brother also could not afford to pay my school fees actually. And so that day I was actually watching the TV, and there was another man outside. Listening to the radio when we were that's at the neighborhood. Then after, he was like, there is a scholarship at the district office offering there is a organization at the district office, the new organization offering scholarship for pupils, primary pupils. Then that man actually connected us. If there is someone who is known at that area by the district people, district leaders, then it will be easy for you to get a scholarship. So that man actually connected us, the girls that were at the area. So then after then, I was connected, I got a scholarship, I succeeded. Oh, these guys, let me tell you, I finished my primary 7 without asking my mom even a single coin, because reason why, when I go home, I just reach home and I look at her, it makes me feel like I'm stressing her. That thing makes me feel like she cannot afford, she's not working, she can afford food, yes, but what about now the school fees, the uniform, even clothes for us to wear, whereby you can wear one cloth for a week or even for 2 weeks, as long as you wash and wear. When you're at home, you can wash it, hang it to dry, while you wrap the bed sheet on your body, because you're not going anywhere, you have no any other clothes to wear. Then I actually got a scholarship, and in that I was again taken back to primary 6 from that where I went to stay with my uncle. So I was again taken back to primary 6 to test my IQ. So I succeeded. I passed in class 6 and primary 6 to primary 7. Then I was supposed to join a secondary school. Then that actually brought another issue, that scholarship actually stopped. So they were not paying for secondarians. They are only paying for primary pupils, not for secondary students. So, and I stayed at home. When it was that time for joining the secondary form 1, senior 1, my cousin actually joined me. My cousin told me, I will pay your school fees, just go and join the senior 1. He even got for me the admission from that school, and I went there now to join my senior 1. Remember, he catered for all my uniforms, the shoes, the books of joining senior 1, and etc. Catered for all that. Why? Because I did well. My mom did not cater for anything because she cannot afford. Like, if actually we didn't move out of home and use your own mind to just be like, let me just go anywhere, you never know what God will do for me. By now, I shouldn't have been here. I should have been married long time ago. I should have been old by now, because in our village, if you're not educated, if you're just, we call it warriors, if you're just staying at home like that, you just marry. It doesn't matter how old you are, as long as you've reached 17, you've reached 18, you just marry like that. Not someone who is educated, someone who is just like you. You marry, and then you just produce your children and stay at home, and yeah, just be like that. So your work will be going to the garden every day, you go and dig, yeah, things like that. So that is how things were, and that is how things are even right now in the village where I am, yeah, in Karamoja. So I joined high school in my second term of senior 1. There is a scholarship that actually came up for girls only, called Girl Education Movement, GEM, and I applied, and you know, the thing is that God actually gave me the luck, because if I just put my handwriting on something and I send that thing to somebody, that thing will succeed. And that is why sometimes I say that God is really great. Yeah, God is great. It's great, and I'm actually going to praise him for the rest of my life, no matter what. He's there for me. He's now my father. Then I actually applied for that scholarship for Girl Education Movement, and we stayed like for 2 weeks, and we were announced at the radio, the district radio. My name was number 4 from the girls, so I succeeded from that scholarship. All thanks be to God, that scholarship was actually providing school fees, pocket money, mattress, blanket, the books, the shoes, the uniform. Like, that scholarship was paying my everything. So I was like, thank God. What would have I done without you, God? So that money helped me, because even my cousin brother, the one I was staying, he was not able to continue paying my school fees, because even his kids now were already joining secondary. So he was not that able. I was just the one to drop again and just let his kids continue. All thanks be to God, that scholarship came and I succeeded in it, and that is a scholarship actually that helped me to continue my studies. Then guys, it's a long story. I've gone through a lot in this life that you can see me. I've gone through a lot, whereby even it reached to the extent of me sleeping at the street. Yeah, streets of Kampala. So after my form 4, actually this scholarship stopped. Now they started announcing that the scholarship is for Illuminati. The scholarship, it is not well known where it comes from. It is source of money. Matter what, people talked a lot of money, and the organization actually stopped. Yeah, the organization stopped. Actually, that organization was good. That organization used to take us outing. That organization used to take us for trips to Kampala. We go for a week, we go for 2 weeks. You eat anyhow, everything is catered. From nowhere it is stopped. Now I started to go to Kampala and to stay with my cousin. So that cousin of mine was married to a white guy. After I went there, I stayed for like 3 months. She started saying that, hey, Mara, I'm dressing bad. Mara, I want to take her husband away from her. Mara, I want to be a husband snatcher. Guys, a lot of things happened. Then I decided to look for a job of hotels. So to drop applications. One day I woke up, then I was like, let me just go. Let me write the application and just drop it anyhow. You never know, because I'm tired of staying at home. My idea was, if I get a job, then I will be able actually to pay my school fees, to continue with my school fees, and also pay my rent, and also send money back home to help my siblings and my mom. Yeah, I dropped applications, guys, with my certificate of Form 4. I dropped applications. Yeah, after that I got tired. I was just now at home to surrender myself, to accept all the abuses my cousin puts on me, calls me all sorts of words anyhow. Yeah, then finally one day I was just sleeping. In the morning I got a call. I was like, hello. Then the lady was like, am I speaking to Susan? Then I was like, yes, you're speaking to Susan. Tomorrow you come for interviews. So I was like, wow, okay. And I was called for interviews in that hotel. It's called BK Hotel. Then I was called. The next day I went in the morning for interviews. Finally I succeeded. I got a job in that hotel. They started paying me with 150k Ugandan shillings, and the rest of the workers were paid 250k shillings, Ugandan shillings. Why? Because I had no experience about working in hotels. Actually, there's even that video. If you can go and watch that video, my first time being a waitress in a hotel, it is actually on my channel. Go and watch it. Then I had no experience. I didn't know how to talk to customers, how to serve customers, things like that. But I tried my best. Yeah. So that money that I was paid, you see, I was able to send the money home. I was able to continue with my studies. I was able to pay my rent. Actually, I got a ship house. So the uniform in that hotel for working was given for free. Yeah. And then also another thing that helped me in working in that hotel, the tips were there. Okay, by tips, what I mean is that when you serve a customer, when the customer sees your service is good, can actually appreciate you by giving you some money, maybe 500 Ugandan shillings, maybe 1,000 Ugandan shillings. Yeah, to just appreciate you for serving him or her well. Yeah, there was a lot of tips, as long as you serve the customers well. And so that tips, I didn't want to waste it, because even food itself, you are given food. We were given food in that hotel. We were given tea, lunch and supper were given. So those tips, I gather them together. I make sure I cleared my school fees so that I can get my certificates, because the school I studied, I continued to get my certificates. I did not finish my school fees. Yeah, did not finish my school fees. So I used that school fees actually to, I used that my salary that I was paid in that hotel every month. I gather it together. I make sure when I'm paid, I send half to school to clear my debts, and also to pay my rent, and also every month to send money home to my mom. Guys, that is how I survived. It's a long way. I have come a long way, and up to now I normally sit down and thank God for my life, for bringing me up to this time now where I am. I'm still existing, and I'm not like the way I was before. And even sometimes when I sit down myself alone and just look at myself and think of the clothes that I have, that I wear every day, and think of the shoes that I wear, good shoes if I want to go anywhere, and think of the food that I eat, and remember of my past, I'll just end up shedding tears. It makes me think a lot, and it makes me cry when I sit down to think about that. It really takes my mind down and makes me feel bad. Yeah, but yeah, you know, God does things differently. Yeah, and maybe one day, and maybe that day is coming, and maybe that day will just be on my door one day, where God will just change my story from being that person from a miserable background to someone successful in future. Yeah, maybe that day is coming. Yeah, maybe that day is coming. Yeah, so that is how I survived actually. And the rest of my siblings also, each one of us actually paid his or our own school fees. Yeah, that is how we managed our lives up to now. And also, my coming here to Kenya, I didn't come here to marry actually. I did not come here to marry. I came here to look for a job. And another thing, I came here to explore because I was really tired of being in Uganda. I was really tired. And even that time, if I had a lot of money, I had just fly to another country. Yeah, that was my thought. But because I had little money, I said, let me just go to Kenya, because Kenya sounds more in the map, in the history. Kenya is big, what. So I was like, let me just go to Kenya and just explore the place, how the place is, and go there and look for the job and better my life. Maybe I can forget of my past, what I went through. Maybe I can forget, or even maybe I can get a man in Kenya and just marry to a different country, not my country. Yeah, so that is how I came to Kenya. When I came to Kenya, I actually came here in purpose for work and to explore the place. And obvious, the place is good. Kenya is big, more better than Uganda. Yeah, more better. And also their money, the Kenyan money is better than that one of Uganda. But still, we manage. You know, Uganda is still my country. I cannot betray it anyhow. So it's still my country, and Kenya also still my country, because now I'm married in Kenya. So the two countries are mine. Uganda mine, Kenya mine. So they're both my countries. So yeah, that is my story, and that is how I grew up. That is how my mom brought us up, with hard work. Yeah, So guys, I hope, I know now some people, there are also people out there who have the same story like mine. Yeah, but it's still, I decided to share mine out there, not with a bad heart, not with something bad, but just we share our stories. Yeah, for future use. Yeah, and also for, yeah, yeah. So that is my story, and up to now, I know most of you, some of you must will ask, what about my mom? How is she still alive? Yes, my mom is still alive and kicking. She's in Uganda. Yeah, she's in Uganda, but now she's old. She's not like the way she was before. And yeah, she's all that because of the work she does. Yeah, in order to provide food. Though we are not paying the rent, we have our own house that my mother built, and for that one that my dad actually built, his brothers took it. Like I said, they took all the properties, even the house that the that was ours, and the cows, the goats, anything that our father had was taken by his brothers. Just in, they wanted to torture my mom a lot because my mom actually refused to marry our uncle, the brother to my dad. Yeah, so you know that tradition still exists. Yeah, in my country it is still exists. So that is why they decided to torture us like that. But even up to now, our uncles are still there. Yeah, there was a time when I was in Kampala, so I came back home to visit home. So they came asking me that I should give them the money that I have worked for in Kampala, that I should also share to them. And then I was like, wow, so in this life you still exist. Just to see any one of us coming home, we are now alive, we are very healthy, and we are educated. And then when you see us, you have that feeling of coming to ask for money from us. Yet from the beginning, you can't believe my uncles were rich people, but then nobody had a heart of mercy to help us that time. But now when they see us going home, they come to ask for money, that we should give them something little. You can imagine that. It is really funny. This world we are in, it is funny. And it rotates. You see like the way the earth and the moon rotate around the sun, like the moon and the earth rotate around is it the sun or the moon? The sun. It is called what? Orbiting. That is how every day, that is how this world rotates. You see, this world is very small. You can run, but you cannot hide. Yeah. So, all thanks be to God, both of us, the 7 siblings, the 7 children, are alive, existing, alive and kicking. Yeah, and many of us now, we are married, apart from 2 who are not married at home now, but the 5 of us are married. Yeah, with kids. Yeah, it is really something funny. It is very funny. So guys, that is my story. That is my background. That is how I struggled to reach up to where I am now. Yeah, so that's all. That's my story. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't yet. Yeah, if you come across this channel anywhere, anyhow, kindly subscribe, share, like and comment. I really appreciate your support. and deep down in my heart, you're the family that has ever happened to me. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming into my life, and thank you for supporting me. I really appreciate for your comments, those ones who are giving me positive comments. I do appreciate you, and also those ones who are giving me negative comments, you're all welcome. I do appreciate your support. Yeah. And for my returning subscribers, thank you so much for coming back to watch my videos, and may God bless you. I will see you on my next video. Bye bye.